everybody. This is Jill Renee Feeler, and I'm so excited to introduce a friend to you. I highly recommend her, and I've invited her onto my network of services because there's so many people I meet that have amazing gifts and abilities. And Bridget Aldrich is actually somebody that I get sessions from and have for, gosh, Bridget, we just went through our first year together of monthly sessions, right? And oh my God, you guys, it feels inappropriate for me not to share with you guys resources like Bridget that I use as Jill to help me be my best. So I'm introducing you to Bridget Aldrich here. Bridget,
hi, guys.
I'm so glad that you said yes when I invited you on. And I know this is kind of a tricky question to ask, but what do you want to say about what you offer? It's so special. And then I'll share my side too, in terms of what it's like on the client side. But how do you want to describe what you're offering?
Oh my gosh, Jill. Well, first of all, thank you so much for doing this. I mean, this is amazing. I really enjoy working with you. You're a very special being. And I'm really happy that we resonate kind of on the same energetic stream. And so, oh my gosh, in terms of what I do, I guess I try to keep it a bit unlimited in the expansion area. But in terms of basis, I do a lot of energetic infrastructure work, a lot of energetic alignment. I use crystal frequencies and crystal sound to get people back into alignment. It assists with putting people back into kind of a meditative state naturally throughout the day when they're getting more regular sessions. And I just really align people, I guess, to their home frequency. And sometimes that takes a while to do that, maybe a few sessions. I always tell people to try 3 sessions, because sometimes the first session you're like, oh my gosh, what just happened? But, usually by your 3rd session, whether we're going to work, whether we're going to be a good fit or not in terms of what you want to achieve, either energetically or in your expansion. So yeah, it's really unlimited. It's balancing, it's aligning, it's clearing, it's a lot.
It's a lot.
It really just depends on what the person is going through, because they're tailored to each person. They really are. But the basis is you're going to come out more aligned than you were before.
It's beautiful. So you guys, on the client side, I can share that what Bridget does is you get an email from her, at least the process that you're using now, and I know you've sort of honed it, improved it, and maybe that'll change a little bit over time, but for now, you'll get an email from Bridget the night or the day before your session, and it has an audio recording of Bridget with her crystal singing bowls. So that's an audio recording for you to listen to for your session time, which would be the next day. And you preset that. That's part of what you're purchasing is the session time with her. So you have an hour of you just totally zoning out / zoning in. I tend to lay in my bed in a really comfortable place. And I have the recording that she's offered playing, and I just let myself go in basically like a meditation to the music. And then after an hour, then I, sit up if I'm awake. Sometimes I go really deep. And then Bridget will text me. She texts me an image of the crystal grid that she was led to use for the session. And for any of you that are thinking this is too weird for me, please stay right there. Don't leave. I promise you there's something amazing here. Even if your brain is like, this is crazy. No. It's genius. So just hang on. So you get this beautiful grid, and then Bridget gives you some notes. And then I think I purchased the session anywhere where we get some time to talk. And then I call you when you have the thing, call me when you're ready. And then we have some time together. Is that an option, a feature option of having the conversation with you afterwards?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Because because I feel like it's really good to go over the session, what the person on the receiving end experienced, what I experienced. A lot of time it syncs up, and a lot of time we're releasing, we're releasing emotional debris, mental debris. If you want a rewrite of your system, if that's something that you've asked for, if you want more access to your intuitive abilities, or maybe just as simple as being happy.
Exactly.
But yeah, the phone call afterward, it's not necessary, but I feel it's an important way to close out the session.
I love it.
Just to make sure that, we're all on the same page, so to speak.
That's good.
And any further releasing can be done, in terms of if you're having, I don't know, conflict with somebody or conflict in some areas of your life, then we can discuss that either before, you can send me an email, or after.
Okay. And you guys, for the way that I do it, I don't send her notes before of what I'm working on or what I'm looking for from the session. I just kind of let it happen more organically. But the fun thing is that whenever we do our phone call part, you are seeing things related to maybe it's career goals or things I'm thinking about related to work or even personally and expansion or things I want to dial back on. It tends to sync up so well. It's just so fun. So I love the conversation part to kind of tie it all together. And I love your description of the grid and, what you were feeling from it. It's so fun. So I do want to speak to those that are more of a maybe mainstream variety that have never done anything like this. Mm-hmm. I know the me of maybe 12 years ago that would have never even known that this kind of stuff existed. What's a crystal grid? What is she talking about? You know what I mean? I would have probably already turned off by now. So if you're still listening or watching this, that's a good sign that you are ready for a level of support and expertise that you never would have thought of before. And I'm begging you to say yes to this and to book a session with Bridget, because it's impossible to describe what happens. But I feel like a better version of myself. And that's why I pre-book and I prepay for a year with her, so that I know it's part of my self-love routine. It's part of my, taking care of myself professionally routine. Bridget, you helped me be a better Jill. And I'm so appreciative of your gifts and your mastery and your alchemy and your intuition and your love and your compassion and your encouragement. I mean, you are a master on so many levels. And I love it. Your humility is just so beautiful. You're fun to work with. You are so caring and so professional and so playful. And it really makes something, if this is new to somebody, I feel like you are so welcoming to those that have never done this before. And in a way, this type of session is probably maybe less intimidating to somebody that's never done anything like this before, but is curious, because you have an hour of that client having their own experience and then like a 15 or 20 minute phone call afterwards. So they don't have to, be able to talk the same language or anything. All they have to be willing to do is receive in a new way on levels of themselves they probably didn't even know were there. And I love your tip about 3 sessions, because there is a sense of kind of getting, it's like a new flavor, new palette profile in terms of taste. It's like, okay, no, what was that? And some people that are even really savvy in, consciousness realms and, things like that may still be surprised by their own experience here. But I really want to encourage those that this would be new to you, or those that are semi-familiar, or maybe you're a healer or an intuitive yourself and you're looking for an upgrade or some sort of breakthrough. I just think Bridget is just a great person to connect with and book a session with her. Yeah. Bridget, what would you want to add to what I shared there?
Well, in terms of if, you're feeling a little hesitant about something like this, I have multiple clients who are not into the so-called woo-woo side at all. but they really appreciate the benefits of sound healing. The frequencies of sound is really beneficial to our physical body. I have people come to me just so that they can feel better. And so it doesn't have to be this way or that way. It's like, what is it that you want to feel, and what is it that you want to experience? Do you just want to have more happiness in your day-to-day life, or do you just want to kind of feel more centered, maybe more on par with what you want to create with your goals? It doesn't have to be just one way. In fact, I feel like this should be something that everybody experiences. It's like we maintain our physical body by exercising. We maintain our brain by meditating. So many people meditate and they're not even spiritual. We maintain our, and plus by eating well. So it's like, why are we not maintaining our energetic bodies as well through energy work or through sound or any of that? And sound is becoming more and more more and more people are picking up on it, on the benefits of sound healing. And so yeah, so if you're on the fence, I mean, you kind of feel that urge.
Love it.
I welcome you to come play with me.
Do it.
We'll have a good time.
Oh my gosh. It's so beautiful. And I, for some reason, do want to offer that. I mean, you and I have known each other, God, has it been like 7 years? It's been a long time.
6 or 7. Yeah, long time.
And I totally remember your first session. I was like, healer. It was, oh God, it's just been so cool to, I think maybe hopefully for both of us in terms of how much we've grown and expanded alongside each other in so many ways. And just, and we go months without even, I mean, now that we're doing sessions, we see each other more regularly, but before that, it would be months at a time. And you went on the France trip, the first France trip I did. And, we did to Egypt and, oh God, and you were with us in Greece in one way or another. So it's just, you guys, I know Bridget really well. And it was when I was making up my little short list, when I wanted to do this, Bridget was so easily in that handful. And I got really lucky that everyone I asked said yes. So I'm so strongly recommending that you consider Bridget as a resource for you, and without any preset expectations of what exactly, you'll get out of it, but just remain curious, because you'll probably get even more out of it than you're expecting anyway. And Bridget, you get amazing results. Do you want to tell any specific anecdotal stories of outcomes that clients have had?
Well, I mean, I can tell of a recent story with a family. So recently I've had a whole family here in town start seeing me a few months ago, and at first it was the mother. She came, and she was like, oh my, she had such a great, I mean, her whole life shifted in one session. Yeah, she was a little bit more, I guess, spiritually or mystic inclined. Okay. But she was like, oh my gosh, she's like, I'm going to bring my whole family. And so I do children's sessions. I worked on her 3 children, her husband, and just, I believe it's been 4 or 5 months. Each person has had 3 sessions. The whole family has shifted. I mean, they're happier, they're more at peace with each other. They're having less conflict in extended family matters. The whole family is connecting on a much better basis, because with the children, the parents have more of an understanding of how the children are wired, so that they can better support them through these. They're kind of all going through, the teenage phase, getting more into that. But plus there was one that was autistic. One had a disability. And so it just kind of brought the whole family kind of on the same page. And I've just gotten such great results just in family settings. And so, so that's one really, really good. And she's like, Bridget, I had my 3 sessions. She's like, I don't even know if I need another one. She's like, I feel so good. I haven't felt this good. She's all, in years. She's like, this is what I've been trying to feel in all of my years of inner work. She's all, but then she called me the other day. She's like, I think I want to come in for another session.
It's so good. Thank you for sharing that. That's a perfect example. Oh, sorry. Tickle in my throat. For me, the reason, and I think I shared the story with another healer that we both see, Michael Dake, is that I remember reaching I thought I started to get, how would I describe it? I think a lot of us in spiritual growth pursuits and things get to the point of, well, I've got it now. I don't need any help. I don't need so-and-so. And there were several, it was over a summer, and I was like, well, maybe I don't need Michael Dake. I can do this myself, and I was sort of like, I don't need it, it was, and then by the end of the summer, I just kind of felt myself saying, maybe it's not that you need it. You just want it because it feels good. So then I started using this metaphor of, I like a clean car. So it's not that my car's broken down and I'm hobbling into a session with you or somebody else. It's that I like a clean car and I like a regular car wash pass, So even if I don't feel like I necessarily need it, it's not about needing when you're at a certain level of expanded, I want to say, range of optimal well-being. It's whether what something can add to your sense of support and well-being and keep you at your best and help support you at your best. And that's a different level of client, not level like higher or lower, but that's a different reason for coming, but it's still just as valid. Because
Oh yeah.
you and I come up with stuff every month. It's like, oh my God, that's so cool. And it always
Yeah.
feels amazing. It's never like, well, I didn't need that one. They're all amazing.
Oh yeah, no, and I totally agree with you. I mean, I get my own sessions from Michael Dake. I get sessions once a month too. It's like, so it's like just the maintenance level and just, yeah. And I want to do it. I do feel that people are perfect exactly where they're at, but if you want just a little bit more, or maybe you just want to feel a little bit better, or that next level of expansion, or, I mean, really, there's no right way or rules to it, but yeah, it's amazing to have regular energetic maintenance.
I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I would love to offer to people about you is that Bridget just said it. She's looking for what's best in others. And I do feel there's something really important about that in somebody that's offering any sort of support services or healing to another person. She's looking for the optimum, if their energy or frequencies, whatever words you want to use. She's looking for that in others because she knows it's there. And what I recognize from my work and being in this industry now is that there's a lot of healers and a lot of intuitives and a lot of spiritual teachers that are in the business of brokenness. So they're looking for what's broken and they're trying to fix it. But what I was shown intuitively at the very beginning is that you will consistently be working with brokenness and almost it's dysfunctional. You're resting in the dysfunction versus resting in, I'm going to use the word glory, of what actually is already working well, but sometimes we can't see it. We're not maximizing it, and we're not supporting it in ourselves. So it's sort of like a top athlete takes themselves incredibly seriously on all levels, like you were describing, physical maintenance, nutrition, all of these things. And that's why I think it's kind of cool when I hear of like top athletes. I think Michael Phelps showed up for one of his races at the Olympic swim races, and he had the cupping. The welts from cupping, and I'm like, okay, that's a bit alternative, right? I've done cupping. It looked like aliens like sucked on my back, and I was like, and our world was so like, oh, that's so badass. Michael Phelps does cupping, you know what I mean? And so there would be no signs of work with somebody like you, but top elite anythings of any field, it's very common now to find that they meditate. They meditate to crystal sound bowls. They may get energetic healing. And if you are the top of whatever you are in whatever your field is, and you've never done something like this, oh God, it just adds to your elite status and whatever you're trying to be your best at. It's so additive in a very, I'm going to say transcendent, even supernatural way. And it just, the idea that we all have further levels of amazingness gets me so excited because I feel like I'm so involved in the human potential sort of movement. And I get super excited about that. And when I look at Bridget and what you do, I'm just like, oh my God, it's just such an easy yes.
Thank you.
Anything else that you want to add, Bridget? This feels good though. I feel like we've increased the curiosity level to say yes to you.
No, I think that's great. I do. I feel like everybody's exactly right where they need to be at. But yeah, if you want to add to it, then give me a call because you can definitely add more to it, to your amazingness. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I love it. Oh, Bridget, thanks so much for making the time today. Thank you for saying yes to joining the list of services I'm offering on the website. And it's so exciting.
Well, truly honored to be invited. So thank you.
You're so welcome.
Sister.
All right, you guys, go try Bridget out.